Okay, so DEL applications have 6 main components. The components are listed in the project solicitation for on the NSF's website, so it's important to have a look at that and to follow the instructions for those guidelines. They'll give you a lot of information about what is needed. The first part of the project, and one of the most important parts, is the project summary. This is a one-page description of the project. It gives the reader the first taste of what it is that you're proposing, why you want to do it, and how important it is for the language and for science in general. It contains both a statement of the intellectual merit, that is, how good a proposal it is, and the broader impacts, so who it will affect, why it's important for general society. The project summary can also then be expanded into the project description. So the project description is the meat of the application. It has 15 pages maximum, and in my experience, pretty much all projects are within 14 to 15 pages. So make sure you use the full space that you have available. The project description gives you all the details about what it is you're going to do, who's going to do it, what it's going to cost, why you want to do it, the timeline for the project, so the extent of the grant and the timeline in that sense, the previously funded work that you've been working on, the background preparation that you have, and all of other information like that. There's more information about the project description and what it needs to include, and that's included in the program solicitation. So again, that's it. The program solicitation is your friend when it comes to looking at what you need to include. You should also make reference to previous works on the language and support the points that you make by referring to the literature on linguistics. And the next part of the application is a list of references. That doesn't count as part of the 15-page limit, and it's separate to that. So you include a list of the works that you cite. The next most important thing is the budget. The budget has a very specific format. Again, it's costed by year, so years 1, 2, and year 3, if there's a third year of the budget, are all costed separately, and then they're combined at the end. You also have a budget justification. So the budget justification gives text about the individual items of the budget, why they're included, how they were calculated, and so on and so forth. Then you need a data management plan. Data management plan is up to 2 pages. It summarizes what data will be collected, what format it will be in, how it will be processed, how it will be worked on during the life of the grant, and what will happen to it afterwards, so where it will be archived, how it will be archived, and things like that. If any data are confidential, you should include in the grant data management plan how you will deal with that confidentiality and how you will safeguard the identities of the participants. Likewise, if the data are all open, you should make sure you say that as well. Lastly, there's a Biosketch. The Biosketch also has a very specific format. It also has a maximum of 2 pages, and it gives the information about your background, so your educational background, any works that you've published, so linguistics articles or other articles, other materials that you've worked on, the title, another thing called synergistic activities, which are activities and other things that you've done that relate to the grant, for example, running language workshops or going to conferences, things like that. And your collaborations, so who you've worked with, who you've had as students, if you've had students, and whose student you've been. So those are the 6 components, and finally they're all submitted through the NSF's Fastlane system. So when you set up the grant proposal, it will have all the individual categories, and you'll be able to see what you've submitted and what's being worked on.